enjoyed my little VR experience in IL-2 Sturmovik, the Battle of Normandy, and I wanted to jump in and do a little bit more over the weekend. Had some serious controller issues when I tried to start up, and had to basically, well, literally delete all of the controller bindings and just set up all of my buttons again. I also, under advice from some of you out there, added a zoom option to my gameplay, a quick zoom, so that I can try and identify aircraft a little easier. But what I've identified is that the AI are terrible at just changing direction and not saying anything at all. It's so easy to lose your squad when you're out there. You take your eyes off them for a second to look around for enemies, and they've done a right, they've pulled off, dropped below the clouds. You're completely lost. You have no idea where they are. So in my next video I'm going to add a few extra little, just helpful little things, so that A, I don't shoot my own teammates. As you will see in a minute, that becomes a bit of a problem. But also so that I don't lose my way quite so often.
Alert 2, target destroyed. Alert 2, engaging fighter. It's close. Fight.
So in this sort of second look, after I got the controllers working properly, I did once again, as per usual, completely lose my team, and they went off and got into a bit of a fight, and I tried to join them. I did find them after they got into the scrap, and I lined myself up behind this aircraft, but in VR it's just not very clear what you're looking at, and I wanted to be 100% sure that this was definitely a Luftwaffe aircraft and not an ally of any sort. So I got really close, took a bloody good look at him, and once I discovered that he was an enemy, I was like, right, this guy is going down. Unfortunately, one of my teammates was a little less patient with me than he needed to be, and swooped in and stole my first kill, the cheeky git. Truth be told, he'd already been hit a couple of times, so maybe he was just finishing off his own kill, I don't know. I mean, it was a fantastic job, he did really well. Took him out a treat, but a little disappointing that I didn't get to get my first kill today. Very close to it though, very close indeed. So as I mentioned, it is super duper easy to lose your squad, and that's exactly what happened on this occasion. They just disappeared up into the sun and then behind some clouds, and then that was it. I couldn't see them anymore. But before I could find them, my engine packed up. This time I didn't run out of fuel. I think I had my settings were back to front or something, and I destroyed the engine. But once again, I had to ditch it in a farmer's field, and yeah, last time I made a pretty good job of it, so I was pretty confident. Didn't quite make the field that I initially picked out, but I found a fairly nice uphill sloping spot that looked pretty good for the job, and tried to set it down nice and easy.
Alert 4, I'm wounded.
Well, it wasn't exactly a perfect landing, but any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. So I fired up again, took to the clouds again, absolutely determined this time that I wasn't going to lose my squad, and I had all my settings set up. I had the zoom now working, but unfortunately I lost my squad almost instantly on this occasion, and found myself pretty close to the floor. But whilst I was close to the floor, I actually found an enemy location, and I thought, well, if I start peppering some of these aircraft with gunfire, then they'll scramble, and we'll have a couple of enemies to fight. A bit of fun, bit of entertainment. But despite my best efforts, they absolutely refused to take off and engage with me, so I just ended up shooting this 𝗏𝗂𝗯𝗃, blowing it up, and finished off by landing on top of some of their fighter planes as well. So round 3, I mean, at this time I was uber determined not to lose my squad, and I sat on their tail for the whole thing. Lost them a little bit occasionally, just in terms of distance, so I wasn't in formation. They went through some clouds and I had to sort of work my way through those and then regain their position, etc. But yeah, ultimately they shot down a couple of planes, but what they tend to do is they just shoot off and don't say anything, and then they shoot down the enemy, and by the time you get there it's all over, which is a little frustrating. I did do some extremely close formation flying back to base, and this time, surprisingly, I actually made it back to the airport for the first time ever, so I've actually got to see what that looks like, which is quite nice.
Water break. This is alert. Leader. Requesting landing clearance. Over.
Alert. Affirmative. Cleared to land.
Alert. Leader. Copy.
Water break. This is alert. 4. Requesting landing clearance. Over.
Alert. Ganic. Negative. Runway is busy. Go around.
Alert. 4. Roger.
Water break. This is alert. Leader. Landed. Over.
Alert. Clear the runway.
Alert. Leader. Roger.
Water break. This is alert. 4. Requesting landing clearance. Over.
Alert. Ganic. Negative. Runway is busy. Go around.
Alert. 4. Roger.
We'll call that a nearly perfect landing. I think it's quite amusing that I did more damage at the airfield than I did in a farmer's field, but you know, I'm still a rookie. I'm enjoying it, but I am seeing some gaps, especially in the AI, where I think things could be improved just a bit.
Clear the runway.